Hello and welcome to Tea is Good, Books Are Better, the podcast where we drink tea and talk about books. I'm Raven.
And I'm Jess.
We didn't introduce ourselves last time.
Fuck.
Let's talk about The Mandalorian.
Okay.
You're so casual. I feel like I never get excited about anything.
Have you met me?
Wait, who are you again? Okay, so both of us have finished the whole season.
Yep.
That's it? Alright, to Game of Thrones. I loved the last episode. What'd you think?
Yeah. It was very good. I thought it was cute.
Cute.
Always. I like the robot.
Oh, IG?
Yeah.
I think it's IG something.
Robot nurse.
Yes. Yeah. My favorite part was the intro at the beginning, where it's just the two stormtroopers sitting on their speeder bikes and like talking. And it's written so well.
I reflected too on how like in the movies you never see shit like this. Just like casual like
shooting
anyone.
Yeah.
And I was like this.
Yeah.
This is fun.
And it's like, whoa, they're actually people?
Shit.
Yeah, so there's that. It was hilarious just watching them kind of talk like real people too.
Yeah.
It like doesn't feel super scripted.
No.
I love that the one guy keeps wanting to see Baby Yoda.
He had like one look in the eye and they're like, fuck, what is that? It's like he liked how cute it was. Gotta go for a second look, I guess.
Well, they've just never seen anything like it, I guess. But I like how he keeps bringing the conversation back to that. Like, it's so real. And then the meta joke of the stormtrooper aim when they're trying to shoot the thing and neither of them can hit it.
I didn't get it until Johnny pointed it out. That it was a joke.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, I feel dumb.
Yeah. And then even when he goes to shoot the robot, IG or whatever he's called,
mm-hmm.
and he's like 2 feet away, he still hits the ground.
Mm-hmm.
So good. And I wasn't surprised. Well, I was surprised, but at the end, when it was directed by Taika Waititi, I was like, makes sense. You look clueless.
Who the fuck is that?
Taika Waititi. Fuck, man. Okay. Let me give you a little Wikipedia search on Taika Waititi. He made Thor Ragnarok. He directed it.
Okay.
And I think wrote it as well. What We Do in the Shadows.
Sounds familiar.
Mm-hmm. It's like the vampire one, goofy
It's
vampire.
on Netflix?
Yes.
Okay, I saw that. I liked it.
Yeah. He also, I would say What We Do in the Shadows and Thor Ragnarok are like his biggest ones. He's also doing the next Thor, Thor Love and Thunder. That's gonna be dope. He also plays Korg in Thor Ragnarok. The rock guy with the accent. You've seen Thor Ragnarok, right? You don't remember Korg from when Thor is in prison?
It's been years.
Fucking hell.
I only watched that one for the super sexy sister.
Korg?
Nope.
What do you mean no?
I do not remember this guy.
He's the hilarious rock guy. How do you not remember him? He loses a piece of his chest and he's like, oh, there goes another one.
Nope.
I might actually punch you. What the F? How do you not remember? Korg and fucking Meek.
Nope.
Meek? Meek was like the bug looking guy who has like swords for...
What?
It's when Thor is in the prison, like the circle prison. When he's on that planet.
I remember that part.
You don't? Oh! I'm actually holding back from striking out at you right now. Fucking Christ. Alright, well, Taika Waititi is hilarious.
Yeah.
Is my main point. And yeah, so it made sense to me that he directed like one of the funniest episodes I'd seen. At least that intro at the beginning had me screaming. So funny. Yeah, and then obviously Baby Yoda being a boss, being a fucking boss ass bitch. Facing down that flame trooper all by himself.
I like all these cool troopers. So you can see like the black ones from
Shadow troopers.
Last episode.
I think that's what they're called.
Those were pretty good. I was like, whoa.
Mm-hmm.
Shit is going down. We're getting different colored troopers.
Mm-hmm. I think they're called shadow troopers. But yeah, shadow troopers, flame troopers.
Wasn't there like a red one too?
That was the flame trooper, I think. Like
the
with the
flame
one with the
was
red.
white and red.
Yeah, there was
Wasn't
a
there
plain
a
red
red one?
Red stormtrooper.
Yeah, red.
Sith trooper. That's
Oh.
apparently what that is.
What? Did I? Was
think-
this actually from the movie that we watched?
It was probably from the movie. This is not in
Yeah,
Mandalorian.
Sith? What do you think the timeline is for this show? Because I heard about the ancient stories about this ancient group of sorcerers called the Jedi. I'm like, whoa, like, how far is this?
This comes after the fall of the Empire. I think it's like within a couple of years after the fall of the Empire. So after Luke faces Darth Vader and kills the Emperor. So the original series,
Yeah.
shortly after that.
You don't think it's after, like, the whole Ren series?
Kylo Ren?
Yeah.
Like Rey and Finn?
Yeah. I was
No.
gonna say Rey.
No, absolutely not.
No? Okay.
It's not. You can actually look it up.
Okay.
And they're constantly talking about the fall of the Empire, too. So it's, like, clearly a recent thing. We also get to see Mando's face.
Yep.
I was wondering if that would happen this season. He looks all, like, beat up and, like, fucked.
Yeah, and kind of, like, nervous about taking off his helmet.
Yeah, he's just sitting there, like, double chin.
Squashed in face. Not very sexy for a sexy dude.
Yeah, as they were, like... I was watching with Brandon and Christine. As they were taking the helmet off, we were all like, oh, oh! And then when the helmet comes off, Christine's like, oh.
Nice.
Really funny. So yeah, there's that cool moment. Spoilers, I guess? If you haven't fucking watched it, then why are you listening to this? Also... what else is cool that happened? There was one more, like, really cool moment.
Was it robot nurse wading through lava?
No.
Was it robot nurse coming in and, like, destroying all the troopers that had them cornered?
That was dope as hell. That was so dope.
Was it robot nurse?
You really liked Robot Nurse.
I like robot nurse. I really liked when he took Baby Yoda from the two troopers and was like, I'm sorry I had to see that. It was
Yeah.
cute.
And the cool moment on the bike where he, like, spins around to protect Baby Yoda.
Yeah.
I was like, ah! Lots of, like, screaming when I was watching that. Yeah, and also how he threatens the guy. He's like, I'm afraid if you lay a hand on this child, I will have to eliminate you. Or something like that. Something like that.
I like robot nurse. Favorite character.
Yeah. There's another really cool moment. Why can't I remember it?
Was it Mandalorian blacksmith?
Might have been her, yeah. Like him getting his signet.
Oh, I'm being told that they're a clan now and he's the
A
daddy.
clan of two.
I thought that was adorable.
That was so cute.
That it's part of the way of adopting a foundling that you're now the father. You're a clan now. It's so
Yeah.
cute. Little baby chewing on to the sigil too. Fuck.
So cute.
It's too much. That was adorable.
Yeah. They really figured out how to like make
Disney
this
knows
show.
how to get to the feels.
Yeah. Put a grown-ass man with a tiny helpless baby. That's how you do it, apparently.
A grown-ass, badass man.
Yeah. There's so much good shit about this show.
Mm-hmm.
Well, let's try and get critical then. Was there anything you didn't like about The Mandalorian?
How corny it was. But that was
What do you
also
mean?
cute.
Which part?
All of it. Except for the last 2 episodes. The whole season has been cheesy as fuck.
But I think they are emulating the classic, like, Star Wars cheesiness.
Yeah.
So I think that's intentional.
Like, it wasn't that big a deal. That's the only thing I can think of.
Yeah, my main critique, I guess, would be the, like, pointless storylines.
Yeah.
Like, when he, goes hunting with that random guy who's trying to join the Bounty Hunters Guild.
Yeah.
Like, that led nowhere.
Filler episodes. Like
Yeah.
anime.
Yeah, but there's only 8 episodes, so filler episodes feel so weird to
Maybe
me.
they're like, 7 is a non-even number.
Yeah, maybe they wrote, like, enough material for 7 episodes, and then they're like, fuck,
I don't like the
we need,
number
like, 1
7.
more. Disney paid us for 1 more, guys. We need to pump out another one.
Someone pulls this one out of their ass.
Yeah.
The most junior writer was given the... Like, here, you write something else.
I would be interested to hear someone analyze, like, how this does contribute to the overall story. Because at this point, I don't see it. But I would be happy to hear someone try and convince me that it did. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I want to believe in that episode, but at this point, it's like, why are you here? Obviously, it ends with, like, the guy not dying, which I knew the second the TIE fighter hit the ground and didn't explode.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, he's alive.
What was that thing he was carrying? I remember Johnny pointing at saying, is that a lightsaber?
I feel like it's mimicking a lightsaber, but it's technology. It's not an actual lightsaber. But I feel like someone in this world, someone tried to design it after a lightsaber.
Yeah, that was my initial thought.
Yeah.
But I didn't really think it looked like one, but it didn't look like one.
Yeah.
No, not me.
Yes. It is a cool weapon.
Yeah.
But I feel like a lightsaber would slice it in half.
Probably.
Yeah. But then again, the First Order did have those... This is long before the First Order, obviously, but I'm thinking... Like, could a lightsaber go through anything that's using that kind of energy? And then I thought of that weapon that the guy in the First Order uses against Finn when Finn has the lightsaber in The Force Awakens. Do you remember the guy who's like, traitor! He, like, pulls out this, like, dope-ass thing.
Oh, yeah?
And it, like, spins out and it's like...
Oh, yeah. I have faint memories of that.
Mm-hmm. The internet gave that stormtrooper a name.
Oh.
I think it was TR8R or something like that. Traitor. Yeah. Because of his line. Something like that.
That's funny.
Yeah, it was a short-lived meme. But yeah, pretty good. Cool, so yeah, I guess if that thing can stop a lightsaber, could this weird device that this guy has stop a lightsaber? Because it looked like it was using the same energy.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, like that crackling blue thing.
Maybe we'll find out. Maybe
I don't know if they're ever going to come across a lightsaber, but that would be interesting.
What if there's like a little cameo Jedi?
Little Mark Hamill?
I have no idea.
Luke was like the only Jedi left at that time, right?
You're right. Maybe he bumps into Luke.
What, are they going to get Mark Hamill and de-age him again?
For a Disney Plus show.
There were some people who were wondering if The Mandalorian was gonna connect to The Rise of Skywalker at all.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't. I didn't expect it to.
No.
It almost feels like... Have you seen Rise of Skywalker yet?
Which one is that one?
Oh, I'm fucking stupid. We watched it together.
Oh.
Jesus Christ.
I had assumed that it wasn't that one.
Yeah, you're like, wait, what are you talking about? Because I'm an idiot with the worst memory in the world. Yeah, I wasn't expecting any sort of connection. They felt like very different entities to me.
Yeah, they're really different. I like it because it's like different story in the universe. It's like how I was pointing out with that Shadow of Mordor. Different stories in the universe. I think it's fun.
Yeah. Cool. Okay. Let's get into it.
Tea?
What are we drinking today, Jess?
Peppermint tea.
It's really nice.
Maybe it'll taste good with these shortbread cookies I made.
This was your first time making shortbread?
Yep.
I find that hard to believe.
It is.
Because it's really good.
It was a really simple recipe. And it called for the electronic mixer. But I'm too lazy to pull mine out, so I used the fork to whip my butter.
Well, they're like wonderfully fluffy and flaky and...
Yeah, it's because there's a ton of butter.
They taste great.
You're basically eating a stick of butter. And it's fucking delicious. I think you can use less sugar. Maybe more.
No.
Maybe coconut sugar would give it a better caramel taste.
No, it's perfect.
It's not perfect to me. Mom's are better.
They're really good. Anyway, stop eating in the microphone.
Last time on Tea is Good. Ser Jorah saves Dany from drinking poisoned wine, and then Drogo learns of it, and then swears to travel to Westeros to take the Iron Throne for his baby boy, Rhaego.
Woohoo! Take that throne.
Cat joins Robb with his host of banners, and he informs her of his game plan of taking one of the Lannisters hostage. One of the Tywin or Jaime Lannisters hostage.
English is hard.
English.
Go on.
Tyrion joins his father with his clansmen. While talking about their payment, Tywin learns that the Stark host is moving south towards them.
That's all she wrote.
Yep.
Okay.
Chapter Sansa.
Chapter 57 is Sansa. Will this chapter be any less frustrating than the last one? Nope. It's a Sansa chapter.
She's always getting shit on. Sansa is waiting in the throne room awaiting Joffrey's first court session. She had been given free reign of the Red Keep as a reward for being good, but she still has escorts. There are no more than 20 lords milling about. Sansa walks amongst them, greeting them here and there, but no one looks at her or acknowledges her, almost as if she were a ghost. Ooh, kind of feel bad for a child Sansa there.
I have a hard time feeling bad for Sansa, but I realize that's like stupid because she's a kid and she doesn't know better.
She's 11.
Yeah.
And she is ignorant and naive as fuck.
Yeah, but I compare her to Arya and I'm like, why is Arya so woke?
Arya's woke because she hung out with her brother Jon. Maybe.
Yeah.
Hung out with the boys.
So why is
so
Sansa
airheaded?
such a fucking dick to Jon?
Maybe Sansa.
I think she gets it from
her
Catelyn.
mom.
Yeah.
That's totally
so
what
we
it
know
is.
who to blame.
Cat.
The one person on my shit list. Fucking Catelyn.
Sansa feels nervous, but she tells herself not to worry. Joff and the Queen love her. Cersei said so.
Ugh.
The members of the small council, the Queen and Joff, enter the room. Joff sits on the throne and orders Maester Pycelle to order his decrees.
Wait, he orders Maester Pycelle to order his decrees?
Okay. He orders Maester Pycelle to read out his decrees. Maester Pycelle stands and names a bunch of lords who need to come and bend the knee to Joff, including Sansa's mother and siblings. He says Lord Tywin Lannister is to be Hand of the King, and the Queen is to take Lord Stannis' place in the small council. He says Janos Slynt, commander of the City Watch, is to become Lord of Harrenhal. He then looks to Cersei, who stands and calls Sir Barristan Selmy forward. She compliments his long service and retires him. Sir Barristan seems to shrink from her words. He is confused. The King's Guard's vows are for life, until death. Joffrey says that he let his father die and he's too old to protect anyone. Cersei declares her brother, Jaime Lannister, the Lord Commander of the King's Guard. Sir Barristan angrily calls Jaime a false knight and Kingslayer. Lord Varys tells him that he's been given a small plot of land by the ocean with servants. But Sir Barristan spits, calling it Hall to die in and meant to bury him. He tears off his cloak armor and throws his sword down, then leaves the hall humiliated.
Well, I'm gonna butt in here.
Okay.
So they're filling every empty role with a Lannister.
Yep.
Cersei is on the small council now. Jaime is the Lord Commander of the Kingsguard now. And Tywin is the Hand of the King now. Like, bruh.
Lannisters are in power now.
Yeah. Also, apparently Cersei being on the small council is like a super weird thing. Like, the rest of the hall starts murmuring.
Yeah.
Like, this is super unusual. Is that because she's the king's mother, or is that because...
Do the queens not take part in this stuff?
Yeah, I don't know. Or maybe they just don't let women on the small council.
I wonder.
Yeah.
Those are good ideas.
Curious.
Mm-hmm.
I was also relieved that Sir Barristan, like, had a bit of a backbone here, and he, like, told them off.
Yeah, he did. He talked some smack.
Yeah, he was like, fuck this noise. Y'all are stupid.
Yeah. When he left, didn't he, like, say something about Stannis? It's gonna come and take your throne anyways, or something like this?
Did he say that?
I think he said something along those lines. Because Joffrey's like, seize him! He threatened me!
Oh yeah, he calls Joffrey a boy, and then says that... Oh yeah, he calls him a boy, he calls Joffrey a boy, and then throws down his sword and tells him to melt down the sword and add it to his iron throne. Perhaps Lord Stannis will chance to sit on it when he takes your throne. So yeah, he does threaten him with Stannis.
Mm-hmm. When he leaves, Joffrey's like, he called me a boy. Seize him!
Like, that's the offensive part? Yeah. Wait, how old is Joffrey again?
He's like 13. 12 or 13.
Kid.
He's a year older than Sansa.
Sansa?
Oh, what he says. He called me a boy, and he talked about Uncle Stannis. But it was basically the boy part that pissed him off. And then he's like, I want him seized! And Janos Slynt leaves.
To seize Sir Barristan, apparently. Go on.
Cersei then names the Hound as the new member of the King's Guard, who is not a knight and will not take vows. So it's insulting.
The rest of the King's Guard feels like it is.
Yeah, they weren't pleased. Mm-hmm. The Herald asks if any man in the hall has other matters to set before the king, and Sansa nervously steps forward. Joff smiles at her and calls her forth. She kneels on Sir Barristan's cloak to protect her dress, and begs Joffrey to show her father mercy. The council tuts at her. Her father is a traitor, but Joffrey silences them. Sansa says she knows he must be punished, but to show him mercy, he must have been lied to and he was under the influence of the milk of the poppy. He must not have been thinking properly. Cersei considers Sansa's words and suggests perhaps if he were to confess to his crimes. Joffrey stands up and says that her sweet words have moved him. He shall do as she asks, only if her lord father confesses and bends the knee. Sansa promises he will, her heart soaring.
Okay, Sansa.
Yes, man.
Yeah, so another frustrating Sansa chapter. Just the amount of manipulation happening.
Man, I'm 11 years old. I can see her believing this shit. Just
Does
being
she
like
have
a dumb
no
toy.
gut feeling that these people...
Her gut feeling is that Cersei and Joff love her.
Yeah, which is like... I'm like, how can you not see it?
Because she's innocent.
Anyway. Is it my chapter now?
Yep. Ned.
Alright. Chapter 58 is Eddard. We are with Ned in his cell. It stinks of urine, there are no windows or bed, and it's in complete darkness. Now that's a fast travel ticket to Crazy Town.
Absolute darkness. Like that cave we went splunking in.
Yeah.
Yup. That'll make you go mad. Easily.
Yep.
Very easily.
Ned has lots of time to spend with his thoughts. He damns everyone who had a part in getting him here. Littlefinger, Janos Slynt, the Gold Cloaks, the Queen, the Kingslayer, Pycelle, Varys, Sir Barristan, and Renly.
King Robert naming him Ham?
He hears Cersei's words echo in his mind. When you play the Game of Thrones, you win or you die. Ned thinks he had played and lost. And of course he thinks of his daughters too, and those are the only times he thinks he could cry. But he's a Stark, and Starks don't cry. Ever. Even when they're in prison and think they might never see their daughter again.
Their emotions are frozen inside of them.
Ned drifts in and out of sleep. He has terrible dreams and his wounded leg aches. Time passes. He tries to plan to keep himself sane. He thinks of Catelyn. He thinks of Robert and how he failed him. At one point, a jailer comes to give Ned water, but leaves before Ned can ask any questions about how long he will be kept prisoner and where his daughters are. So Ned continues to wait in the darkness. He remembers the time Jaime joined the Kingsguard, and how Rhaegar Targaryen was the best jouster at the tournament, and also how Rhaegar gave the Queen of Beauty's laurel, whatever that is, to Lyanna rather than his own wife. I think a laurel is a kind of head wreath. That's what came up when I googled it.
Was it?
Yeah. Like the type of thing that Caesar wore. Like a little crown type of thing. And Ned also remembers Lyanna dying in her bed, whispering, "Promise me, Ned." And Ned decides he's going mad. Like you haven't been thinking about that so much recently.
Right? It's like in every chapter with him, he's getting plagued by these memories.
Yeah, of
Promise
Lyanna.
me, Ned. Promise me.
The jailer continues to bring Ned water until eventually all he wants is food. And freedom and information, of course. But he's thinking about food. He wonders briefly if Cersei is trying to starve him, but decides that no, if she wanted him dead, she would have done it already. And also, Cat still has her brother, Tyrion, so she dare not kill Ned, or the imp's life would be forfeit as well. Not so, Ned. Not so. Has he any idea how Cersei feels towards Tyrion?
Probably not. He probably thinks family is family.
Ugh.
One of those people.
Wake the fuck up, Ned. Eventually, a different jailer shows up and offers Ned wine instead of water. It takes Ned a moment, but he recognizes that it's Varys in disguise. Ned wonders if the wine is poisoned, but Varys takes a sip to prove it isn't. Ned asks about his daughters, and Varys tells him Arya has escaped, and Sansa is still betrothed to Joffrey. And Varys tells Eddard he's a dead man. Ned tries to explain why he's not a dead man, why the Queen wouldn't kill him, but Varys tells him that Catelyn no longer holds Tyrion. There's a bit of back and forth about Varys' role in the attack on Ned and his men, which is basically that he just stood there and let it happen. But Varys explains that he was playing the game. It's his role to play as Master of Whisperers. So he can't exactly jump into Ned's defense. Like, what are you expecting, Ned? Ned asks if Varys can get him out of the cell, and Varys says he could, but he won't, because they would figure out it was him. So Ned asks if Varys will carry a message for him then instead, and Varys says only if it serves his own ends, which is peace. They chat some more about how Ned's an idiot for telling Cersei that he had learned the truth of Joffrey's birth, and that Cersei gave Lancel the wineskins to keep the king drunk on their hunt, and that it was Ned's mercy that killed the king, not the wine. The mercy being telling Cersei that he knows, because that is what triggered her to take out the king, because Ned threatened to tell the king. Mm-hmm. Then Varys tells Ned the Queen will come visit him tomorrow. Apparently she's worried that while the Lannister army is facing the Eyrie and the Starks, Lord Stannis will land, proclaim himself king, and take King's Landing from Joffrey. Ned says that Stannis is the true heir, but Varys tells him he can't keep saying that shit. Shut the fuck up, Ned.
Yeah.
He has to confess his treason to the Queen, command Robb to lay down his sword, proclaim Joffrey as the true heir, and denounce Stannis and Renly. Then, and only then, Varys believes, Cersei will allow him to live out his days on the Wall with his baseborn son. The thought of Jon fills Ned with a sense of shame and sorrow. Ned wants to sit and talk with him.
About what?
About your mother,
Mm-hmm.
Jon Snow. Ned asks Varys if he's in league with Littlefinger, and this seems to amuse Varys. He tells Ned that he feeds Littlefinger choice whispers, enough so that he thinks Varys is his, just as he allows Cersei to think he's hers. So Ned asks who Varys truly serves, and Varys says, "The realm, of course." Varys then asks what Ned's answer is. Will he tell the Queen what she wants to hear? Ned basically says no, until Varys points out that Sansa will pay for it if he doesn't, which chills Ned to the bone.
Mm-hmm.
Varys tells Ned he has a choice. Ned's next visitor will either bring him food and milk of the poppy for his pain, or he will bring him Sansa's head, depending on what Ned chooses to do. Wow. Will we finally have Ned make a decision that is not for honor and truth, but is instead to save his family?
For self-gain?
Well, be for Sansa, mostly, I think.
Yeah.
Not for himself, because he was literally like, just fucking kill me, bro.
Yeah. I like the description of him going mad from the darkness. I like that.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty,
What about it?
dark reality of being held in these deep dungeons.
Yeah.
Like castles.
It makes sense that when you don't have any stimulation, all you're left with is your memories and your thoughts.
Yeah. Then reality slips.
Mm-hmm.
Especially if there's, like, you can't see shit.
Yeah.
Like, I remember Absolute Darkness from Spelunking, and it was very scary. It's not something I've ever experienced before.
That really shook you a lot more than it shook me.
I just felt so weightless. Like, I felt like I was floating, and that was bad, because I was standing on a fucking rock, and I didn't want to fucking fall.
It was like a rock on an edge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was like a little stream, and I didn't want to fall down on that stream.
Yeah, I was not as, like, startled by that darkness as you.
I don't know. Personally, for me, I like being able to see.
Well, I do too.
Usually I can see in dark just fine. Like, little things here and there. I can make out little outlines. Not seeing nothing, like nothing.
I feel like it's really hard to describe the effect of it until you're actually in it.
It felt like outer space.
Yeah, but no one knows what outer space feels like.
Except for them astronauts. I guess not, because we still see stars and stuff, like outer space, where there are no stars around. Where there's nothing around.
I don't remember it well enough to really describe, but I feel like if I had to pick a way to describe it, and take this with a grain of salt because my memory isn't good. We remember, worst memory ever. That's me.
Maybe that's why it didn't affect you so much.
Yeah, maybe I just don't remember. It feels like there's a black blanket over your face. Just like over top of you. Because like I felt like, from my shitty memory, I felt like the darkness kind of presses in on you.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't feel like it's nothingness. It feels like it's
I felt like physically
you.
affected by it.
Mm.
Like it was a physical thing, how dark it was.
Damn. Well,
so
y'all gotta try that absolute darkness.
I definitely see people going mad. People getting lost spelunking in caves.
Oh fuck. That reminds me of
the
Thai
cave?
boys.
What are the Thai boys?
You didn't hear about the Thai boys who were stuck like down in a cave that flooded?
Worst nightmare.
It was like it was in Thailand. It was this group of boys. I think they were on like a school field trip or something. I don't know. I don't remember the exact scenario. They crawled down into this cave.
Why?
And then the entrance ended up flooding before they could get out.
Oh my god.
Yeah, and it was like a narrow tunnel with like a lot of twists and turns, so there was no way that they could just swim their way out because it was absolute darkness.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were trapped down there for a long time.
Oh my god.
Like, I don't remember if it was like days or weeks, but
Was it like fresh water that flooded them?
I don't know. I would assume so.
So I can assume them living for a while because of hydration and because they have each other.
Yeah. But yeah, like even Elon Musk got involved.
Oh fuck.
Like he was trying to figure out ways to get them out.
Mm.
Like people knew they were down there,
Oh god.
but they couldn't figure out a way to get them out because it was like really narrow tunnels that were flooded with water now, and like lots of
so
twists
it wasn't
and
a
turns.
tide thing when it flooded. It was just fucking flooded.
I don't know exactly.
Yeah.
But what they ended up doing is sending in scuba divers, and then basically they would just like put a mask on the kid and have the scuba diver like hold the kid and then like swim out through the
Yeah.
weavy tunnels.
Man.
But they saved the boys.
Imagine being the last boy standing.
I think it was like the instructor who stayed to be the last one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So he wasn't a boy. He was a man.
Wait, the instructor went in with them?
Yeah.
Was it just boys?
was... I don't remember the exact scenario. I don't know if they weren't supposed to go in there or if it was just like a freak accident.
Oh my gosh.
But yeah, like they had their instructor with them.
Fired. But if it's a freak accident, no. But still, damn.
Yeah.
And I was thinking of the Putty
How
Cave.
did you never hear of this though?
I think I did hear of it, but
Yeah.
I don't like paying attention to that stuff because
It's scary.
Nightmare
and
fuel?
Depressing, yeah. And it rarely ends well. This one did though.
on Reddit there was like a thread like, what's the worst way to die? And someone put in Putty Cave, and I looked it up. And oh my
Put in
God.
what?
The I think it's Putty Cave. It reminds me of like the name Putty. I think it was reminded me of clay or something. So
How do you
I think
spell
it's Putty.
putty?
There's my phone.
You don't remember?
I think it's like P-U-D. What?
P-U-D-Y?
Is
Oh.
it
P-U-T-T is what's coming up.
Putty Cave incident. Okay.
Oh no.
Where the guy got caught upside down and fucking died of all the blood going into his head. No one could have gotten him out. So many people tried getting him out. And they just ended up making it worse because he was so stuck. And he would fall further down each time they tried to pull him out. And it's a young guy too with a wife and kid. Did they show the diagram of how his body was?
No. A tight passage.
Right here. How he was stuck.
Wait, did this not lead anywhere?
No, it got too tight. It was tiny. It shrunk, and he was stuck. And they would try to pull him out, but he'd go further down each time he'd fell because he was so stuck, and he ended up dying in 12 hours because of all the blood in his head.
Oh my fucking god.
And it was like there was a person with him, and like he was like slowly like went delirious in front of them. And like, yeah, I watched the YouTube video and it was scary as fuck. Describing it, what happened.
Oh no.
A bad freak accident.
Oh no.
It has a drawing of like the crack he fell in and how tiny it was.
I can't. This is actually...
This is the worst nightmare. Like, my nightmares consist of going underground in tight spaces.
I can't even look at these pictures anymore.
No, it's bad.
Fucking fuck. Oh no, I have to get rid of it.
Yes, it's terrifying. Why would anyone want to crawl around in a cave so tight that they're on their bellies? That's like straight up nightmare fuel. How do you even breathe in there? How do you not fucking go on a full-blown panic attack?
There's this Japanese like horror comic. Basically, oh god. You know the Japanese horror shit is fucked.
Yeah, Japanese horror is the scariest horror for me.
Basically, there's these like people who find this mountain that has like holes in it, holes that are shaped like people.
I think I've seen an image of that.
You might have. I think it like went a little bit viral or something.
Yeah.
And people like find holes that are like built for them. So people start going into the holes.
Why?
And they don't come back. And it's kind of like revealed later on what happened to them, and it's like, I'm actually freaking out.
Well, you're sweating. That's anxiety for you.
That thing, I can't. Okay, can we? I can't.
Okay. Chapter Catelyn. No, literally, like, I have nightmares where, like, I'm in a situation where I have to escape, and, like, the only escape is, like, a tiny tunnel leading underground, and I'm, like,
okay,
sitting there, like, going,
remember when I said I can't? Remember when I said I can't? Yeah. Can we move on?
Okay.
I'm actually gonna have nightmares.
Yep. Time to watch other horror things to distract yourself.
Get that smiling man back in my head. I'd rather have that. Oh god.
Read some horror. Reddit has really good, like, true horror threads that I love.
True horror?
Yeah, it's usually break-ins and stuff.
Oh.
But they also have, like, you get, like, a few paranormal stuff, and, like, I like the paranormal stuff.
Chapter 59, Catelyn.
Each day that passes, Cat grows more nervous. She knows Lord Walder Frey will not let them pass without payment, and she is uncertain of what the payment will be. They receive word from their scouts that Lord Frey has 4,000 men amassed at the crossing. Robb declares that if Lord Frey doesn't let them pass, then he will tear the towers down. But
maybe we should describe this kind of, like, what this looks like. Because I feel like someone who hasn't seen the map won't understand.
Where the map is? Where the towers are?
Like, what towers?
So there's this river called the Green Fork. They need to get across to get to River Run, but the closest bridge is the Twins. Dun, dun, dun. I have a description of the Twins later on when they actually see it for the first time.
There is a way to go around the river, but they didn't want to go around for some reason. Anyway, they're heading down the King's Road. They want half of their host to cross the river to face Jaime's portion.
Yeah,
right?
And he's at River Run.
Yes.
And the Freys own the bridge where the Twin Towers are.
Yeah. It's like two huge towers with a bridge between them.
The mighty bridge between them.
Yeah, called the Twins.
And he declares that if Lord Frey doesn't give him permission, he will tear them down, these towers. But then Cat tells him that those are the words of a child. They received word from more scouts that Jaime's host had taken Cat's brother Eddard captive and had surrounded River Run, which stresses Robb out now, because now he has to cross. There is no choice. Robb asks what would father do, and Cat answers whatever it takes to cross, that they need to pay the toll, whatever it is.
Ooh.
At midday, they come in sight of the Twins. Midday. At noon.
Midday.
Midday.
No. Midday. Midday.
At midday, they come in sight of the Twins. There's a huge bridge, wide enough for two wagons to pass side by side, with two identical, ugly, and formidable stone towers on either side.
Okay, as I was reading this part, and, like, Cat goes up to join Robb at one point, and they, like, talk, I was like, bitch, why are you here? Why the fuck are you here? Go home!
Right.
My god.
It's obvious from the sight of the Twins that it cannot be taken by storm. When the other lords see it, they too start spouting that there's no way we can siege this. Oh no.
Did you notice there are scorpions?
What?
Scorpions on their battlements.
No. Huh?
Like the device for killing dragons.
Oh!
They have scorpions on their battlements.
I didn't even notice that. What?
Yeah.
I probably just read past that. Did they call them scorpions? Fuck.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Mm-hmm.
But they still have them? Hot damn.
Yeah. So there's these, like, huge crossbow-like devices that we only learn about in season 8 of Game of Thrones.
They're meant for taking down dragons.
Meant for killing dragons, yeah. And they're called scorpions.
Mm-hmm.
And apparently they have scorpions at the twins. I was
Holy
like,
shit.
whoa!
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Bruh. They are prepared.
Mm-hmm.
As they stare at the twins, a bridge slides across the moat and a dozen knights ride out to confront them. Sir Stevron Frey, Lord Walder's heir, a man past 60 with grandchildren of his own, leads the group that consists of his brothers.
Holy fuck. Walder Frey's oldest son is in his 60s.
Yeah.
I was like, how old is this motherfucker, Walder Frey?
He's wraith. He greets them and invites Robb to share meat and mead with his lord father and to explain his purpose there. The lord's bannermen start arguing and shouting not to go. Don't trust Lord Frey. You'll just take him prisoner and sell him to the Lannisters.
Love that they're just doing this right in front of Walder Frey's son.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, you can't trust the Freys. He's like, hello?
Catelyn declares that she will go instead. Lord Frey is her father's bannerman and he will never harm her. And she doesn't really believe that.
But she says it out loud for Robb's benefit.
Yeah. The Freys leave behind their youngest brother amongst them to vouchsafe, and they bring Cat to the twins.
To vouchsafe? What does that mean?
Oh, fuck. I didn't know what to call it, and I looked at the book and it said vouchsafe. And I'm like, okay. That is the word I'll use. I guess to trade and make sure that
basically, like, if they end up killing Catelyn, then they have this
then they can
young
kill him
Frey
instead.
brother to kill, yeah.
Not like Walder. What the fuck? He has too many sons.
Yeah. He has 21 sons, right?
He has more, but the 21 are in there. Because there's
Oh,
some who have
shit.
married off and
Right.
left.
Right.
Cat's father once said that Lord Walder Frey is the only lord of the 7 kingdoms who made an army from his breeches. And when she
Ew.
enters the great hall, she realizes the truth to his words. She is surrounded by 20 of his sons, 36 grandsons, 19 great-grandsons, with numerous daughters, granddaughters, bastards, and grandbastards. Lord Walder is a man of 90, and he has a difficult time standing without assistance. So he's old.
Old as fuck.
Wraith is a good way of describing him. His newest wife, number 8, was a 16-year-old girl. Is a 16-year-old girl, right?
Yeah, that.
And that
Ew.
is even more fucked.
Fucking gross.
Lord Frey comes in a litter.
What does that mean? What's a litter?
So it's like the little. Have you seen like
The carrying
ancient?
thing?
Yeah, like they're
Oh.
carrying him,
On like
and
a,
he's like on a
got
little
it.
couch thing, and this little lady wife is following beside it.
That is ridiculous.
And when they carry him in, he demands to know why she is here and if her son is too proud to come before him. 2 of his sons try to chastise him for his rudeness, to which he spits. And he like kind of like insults them. Like, how fucking dare you talk to me?
Yeah.
He then calls Cat up and kisses her hand and is like, there's my courtesies. Cat says she's here to ask to cross the bridge and to get to River Run. And why isn't he there, since he is her father's bannerman? Lord Frey spits out some excuses and throws some insults at her brother, Edmure, for being weak. Cat, containing her anger, asks if they could talk alone, and Lord Frey kicks everyone out. He asks why should he let them cross, and Cat says that they have 20,000 men and reminds him that he swore an oath to her father. Lord Frey then reminds her that he also swore an oath to the crown. He then goes on a rant about how he wanted to marry one of his daughters to Edmure, but her father wouldn't have it. And then he wanted to give 2 of his grandsons to Jon Arryn and Lysa to foster.
Lysa.
Oh, shit. Oh. And then he wanted to give 2 of his grandsons to Jon Arryn and Lysa to foster. And then he'll take Robert, but they refused, saying Robert was going to Lord Stannis. And that confuses Cat because she had heard that the boy was going to Casterly Rock. Someone else told her that he was going to Stannis, and she didn't believe it. Who was that? Was that Lysa who told her that?
Maybe. I don't remember the importance of...
Because I think the person who told her they were going to Casterly Rock, he was going to Casterly Rock, might have been Littlefinger, and she's kind of like, wait, what? And then now she's been told twice that was actually something else. Maybe she's kind of like coming to the conclusion that
Littlefinger's a lying scumbag?
Lying little bitch?
Lying little fuck?
That's what I think is the importance of this.
Okay.
This confuses Kat because she had heard that the boy was going to Casterly Rock, but Lord Walder is like, nope, my memory is great. He was going to Stannis. He says again, why should I let you cross? And they haggle until the sun hung low. When she comes out of the tower, Robb gallops out to greet her. And she tells him that they have been granted permission to cross and to take some of the Frey men. Robb asks what was the price, and she tells him that she had agreed to take 2 of his grandsons as wards back to Winterfell.
And Robb's all like, oh, that's not so bad.
Is there? Okay. Anything else? And he's like, his son Olivar's to come along as Robb's squire.
And Robb's like, squire? Not so bad.
His youngest son Elmar is to marry Arya when they both come of age.
That's when Robb's like, ooh, Arya's not gonna like that.
And then Robb is to marry one of his daughters, anyone he chooses.
That's when Robb shuts down.
No, Robb doesn't flinch. Kat asks if he consents, and he asks if he can refuse. Kat says no, so he consents. Robb then has never seemed more of a man to her than he does at that moment.
Yeah. Made a personal sacrifice, I guess.
Yep. Made a marriage
pact,
which is managed to her. Okay.
I didn't remember that Arya was supposed to marry one of Walder's kids too.
I do. It was in the show.
Well, worst memory.
That night, they cross the bridge. It takes hours for all of them to pass. Damn.
Yeah, well, it's a narrow area and there's 20,000 of them.
Mm-hmm. The larger part of their host, though, remains behind under the command of Roose Bolton to continue marching down south to confront Lord Tywin Lannister's army.
Indeedy doody.
Indeedy doody.
Walder is a great character.
Yeah, he is full of personality.
Yeah. His dialogue just, like, really says who he is.
His rants,
yeah,
like, they take up each couple pages of just back of the same thing. Just the same thing he's saying over and over. It's like, fuck.
But I feel like I know someone like him. Like, he just feels real, is what
he
I mean.
does. Yeah.
He feels so real. Like, yeah, I can picture someone who's just like you.
Like, I can see lots of old people who, like, go on rants about the same thing over and over.
And he just has, like, no time for anyone's shit.
Mm-mm.
He's, like, not into it.
No.
He's over it.
Every time his kids, like, his sons try to call out and, like, correct him, like, he spits so much insults at them.
He gives
like,
no
completely. Like, one of his bastard sons tried to correct him in his rudeness. And he just, like, went from insulting him to insulting his mother. Like, fuck.
Yeah, he's like, your mom was harvesting goat's milk when I stuck it in her. Like, that type of shit.
When I gave her my seed.
Yeah.
Fuck, I don't want to hear that. Gross.
Yeah. Obviously, for the Starks, he's, like, a pain in the ass, but he is a great character.
He is. He's very realistic.
Yeah. Yeah, I like him a lot. Not, like, as a character. Like, he's an asshole.
Mm-hmm. But, like, as a written character.
As a written character, yeah. He has a lot of...
Like, I can't imagine
personality.
George R. R. Martin just writing out his rants. Like, how do you think of these?
I love it. I love that he has no time for courtesies. He's like, I'm fucking 90 and I can die anytime. Well, no, he's like, I'm gonna live till I'm
He's gonna outlive everyone. He's gonna outlive you, Catelyn. I'm gonna outlive your son, too. I'm gonna outlive everyone. I'm gonna outlive this wife of mine.
Yeah. Hope we get more Walder.
Probably will.
Well, we know we will.
He's too fleshed out to not be around.
Yeah, I guess that's true. Okay, that's it, right?
That's that.
Damn, now there's like pacts being made to like have this war go the way they want it to, and like
shit is going down.
the stakes are going up.
Yep.
That's how you raise some stakes, baby. More to lose?
Hey guys, Editing Raven here. We forgot to plug our stuff at the end of the episode, so I'm gonna do it here and now with this strange sounding, recorded after the fact audio. If you want more of the podcast, please check us out on Instagram. The podcast Instagram is Tigbab Podcast, Tigbab. You can also follow us individually. Mine is Crimby, Jess's is Jess.Egan24. You can find us on Facebook as well at Tigbab Podcast, or just search Tea is Good, Books Are Better, and our page should come up. Also, please check out our good friend Baram Barami on YouTube. He made our jingle you heard at the beginning of this podcast and makes lots of cool music on his channel. That's Bahram, and last name spelt the same with an I on the end. Yes, that's his real name. And lastly, we also have a Patreon. We have different tiers with different rewards, and you'd really be helping us out with your contribution. But we also just appreciate you listening. Thanks so much. Back to the episode.
And that's all she wrote. Tune in next week for some... Who's next on the docket?
John, Danny, and someone else.
Okay. John, Danny, and someone we don't give
I
a shit about.
think it's Tyrion, actually.
Okay.
That's like
epic.
Reach my brain.
You know who I miss? Arya. What the fuck is she up to?
We'll get her next time.
Okay.
Because I saw a chapter in there.
Oh, good. Because I want some Arya. Thanks for listening, y'all. Whoa. What?
I'm assuming, I guess, what Arya's chapter is going to be about. But let's continue. Bye.
Yep.
Oh no. Arya's point of view?
Of course it is.
I guess because the episode showed it from Arya's point of view too.
Yep. Alright, well, before we get into spoilers,
let's bounce.
Bye-bye. Have a good night, or day, or morning. Bye. Just rolling her eyes at me.